Welcome. It's the late night show. Info Spot 411 YouTube channel. I hope everybody's been having a good weekend. We got some good topics, interesting topics. We're going to go from serious to funny tonight. Let me check my volume. Elite Plays, thank you for coming. Welcome to the late night show. Real quick, Seal Biloxi, thank you for coming. I got my list here. I think it was about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks. I did my last live. Life of Naya, thank you for coming. The tribute video, if you were on the live last week, I got you on the list. If you're here tonight for the late night show, I'm going to put you in the tribute video. I had a new song I'm going to drop on the tribute video. I've been dealing with something and still okay, well, I hope everything works out, Life of Naya. No problem. I'm going to put you in, Seal Biloxi. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Let me take a couple quick notes for the tribute video. Everyone here, we'll get rolling. Elite Plays. That's why. Life of Naya, I got you. Six. Servant David, thank you for coming. I'm taking a note here for the tribute video. And now, if you were on my live last week, you're in the tribute video. If you weren't and you're here now, you're going in. Bro Ed, I'll get you in there. Blessed Girl Joe, thank you for coming. I'm just taking some notes here for the tribute video. As you see my scratch pad. Servant David, I already got you on the list. I'll do a few channel drops here. Let me go over everything on the show here tonight, and I'm going to, so we can network with each other, I'm going to do some channel drops for everybody. Tonight, on tap. Oh, you're welcome. You know what? Let me at least put something in the chat window. I always forget to do this, you know. Okay, tonight, the main topic I got here, I've had some time to work on this stuff. Active shooter incidents. We just had one, what was it, yesterday or the day before, unfortunately, Milwaukee at a mall. I'm going to go over some of the history, a lot of these different active shooter incidents. I'm not going to be able to cover everyone, but, you know, this isn't interactive. So if there's an incident that I haven't covered, you want to mention the chat window, we'll talk about it. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to just pause for a second, Seal Biloxi. See, one thing is I don't mind taking money from Google, and I really appreciate it. You know, people watch my ads and the videos. But one thing I'm not about, and I believe me, I do appreciate everybody. Anyone who wants to make a donation to me, click the money button. That's cool. But I'm not trying to push memberships to join special videos and membership deal. Now, if I had something different to offer, yeah, maybe. But I'm not trying to get money out of other small YouTubers. That's not one of my things. But I do appreciate and thank anybody if you want to make a donation. I really appreciate you guys being here. That means a lot to me. And thank you, Seal Biloxi. Okay, back to active shooter incidents. Okay, I'm going to go over history of a number of these active shooter incidents, even some going back from the 1980s. All right, and the next is the why. Why are people so evil or demented to do this, you know, just to take a life of somebody they had for no rhyme or reason? You know, it's one thing when there's, like in the city of Chicago, for example, there's a lot of murder going on, dealing with gangs and drugs, and there's some reasons behind it. But just to indiscriminately murder people, these active shooter incidents, we try to make sense of this. Well, I got some stuff from the FBI and the Department of Justice, and I'll go over that. And then we'll talk about it. And lastly is what to do if you're unfortunately in that situation. So I got a video link in my description box called Run, Hide, and Fight. And this is from the Department of Homeland Security and the Houston Police Department originally put this video together. And I'm going to talk about it. And then also some of my own insights I'll add in on it. as well, run, hide, and fight. And as well as I'm going to go a little more in detail about where, especially corporations in businesses, whether it's a shopping mall or it's a corporate building. Prevention is a big thing that doesn't get talked about a lot. Anyway, we're going to get into it. And then once we get off the serious topic here of this active shooters, I'm going to get into, I got some interesting news stories, funny. New Guinness World Record from the Grand Canyon, the 10-year-old kid. This is pretty cool. Oh, money from the sky. A guy made $1 million because something fell from the sky and hit his house. So stick and stay. You're going to want to hear this. Pretty cool. True story, too. True news story. This I thought was interesting. There was an item that was returned to a library 40 years later after it was checked out. Very obsolete. So anyway, I'm going to go over that. A cool lottery news story. A guy who won a bunch of money on the lottery. Cool story and how he did it. I'm going to talk about it. A message in a bottle was found by a family in Florida. It came from another country, and it was very interesting what it's about. So I'm going to discuss that. There's a major problem in Central Park and in the New York City area around Central Park. I got for this story from the New York Post. I'm going to talk about it. Kind of funny, but it's anyway, it's a major problem going on. I'm going to get to the chat window. I'm not neglecting you guys. I filmed a video about a week ago. I went to this flea market. A flea market is kind of like a garage sale, and vendors are there selling all kinds of crap. There's a big convention center building. And for the most part, everybody was cool with me. I've had some people like, and I gave my little card I have. I had one over there with info spot 401. A lot of them like, oh, yeah, sure. I'd love you to come in and film. Be good for my business. I'm going to do this video. I'm almost done with it. I'm going to drop it on my channel later this week. But what I'm going to talk about is one guy went nuts and crazy, when I had my camera, which I was allowed to film. So anyway, I couldn't figure it out. And me and him, we went back and forth a little bit. And I just left. I said, I don't need the whole confrontation. And when I left the flea market, then I figured out I know why he was so pissed and the guy went off on me. Nothing that was my fault. The guy was up to something illegal. I'm going to talk about it. See how I got these great teasers, everybody? And lastly, yep, you're here. You're going in the tribute video, and then we'll have some general conversation. So a lot of stuff on tap, but, time flies here on the late night show. Let me get to the chat window, everybody. Okay, wow, 7 people. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I was a vendor. I was at a flea market, and I'm going to upload this video later this week around Thursday, Friday. And I filmed a lot of people, from like antiques to arts to unique stuff. And most of the people were really friendly and nice. Like, oh, yeah, I got some comic books for sale, and these are old VHS tapes, and I got this and that. Film it. I'm like, sure. One guy gave me his card. I told him, hey, I'll put your link, your information, your Facebook page, in my description box, my YouTube video and all that. Everything went cool till I got to this guy. The guy was up to something. I didn't figure it out at that time, but when I left, I did. And I said, aha, he was doing something illegal. So anyway, let me get to the chat, and I'll get to that. And then we're going to go over the topic here because it's just this recent event on active shooters. So I'll share some information. This will be more something serious we'll start to show off with. Thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Real Lewis family. Thank you. Let me make sure I jot you down for my tribute video. I don't think I have you on my list. And we are networking with each other. So you want to help each other out. You see somebody here in the chat window, and I'm going to drop your links real quick here. As I always say, if you heard me 1,000 times, bear with me. If you see someone you don't know, go on their channel, watch at least one of their videos in full. Find like a 7-10 minute video, watch it in full, and then drop a like and a nice comment. And they'll return the favor, as well as subscribe to their channel naturally. Okay, let's get rolling. I'm going to do some channel drops here so we can network with each other. So bear with me a second. I'm going to start grabbing your channels, putting the chat room so we can network with each other. If, we're not subscribed to each other's channel, help each other, out. Okay. CO Biloxi, I got you here. And I'm going to go through the chat. I'm looking at the chat here. I can't stay for long, but I usually watch the stream. Okay, thanks, CO Biloxi. I just dropped your channel. Blessed Girl Joe, I'm going to get you next. And Elite Plays, you're coming up next. Servant David. So bear with me a second. I'm going to get your channels here. It just takes me a couple seconds to pull up your channel and get the link and drop it. Then we'll get on to the main topic here about active shooters. Okay. Or active shooting incidents. Active shooters, either one. Elite Plays. Okay, let me get you. I hope everybody, again, has been having a pretty good weekend. It was funny, like Friday here in Detroit, Michigan, where I am, it was like 65 degrees, nice and sunny and great. And it was about like 50-something and sunny Saturday. And then today we got some snow. Not a lot, but we did get some. Elite Plays. Okay, 1 second. I got you. Okay, thank you, Elite Plays. I got you coming up. Servant David, let me get you, my friend. And the Real Lewis family, I'm going to get to you. I'm going to make sure I drop all the links so we can network with each other. If we're not subscribed to someone else's channel, go ahead and do so. Watch at least one video in full. Do a full watch. And then drop a like and a nice comment. And, they'll return the favor. We help each other out networking, not just sub for sub, because, that's only half. That's like half the battle, half the help when someone just subscribes and never watches any of your stuff or interacts with you. Okay, I think that was Servant David. Okay, Blessed Girl Joe. Did I get 1, 2, 3, 4? I'm trying to see. It was burning in Houston. Wow. Okay. Oh, the Real Lewis family. I don't think I got you yet. So 1 second, Real Lewis family. Let me get you here. Copy. Okay. All right. Give me one more channel drop here, and then we'll get rocking and rolling with the show. Real Lewis family. And I'm going to check the chat window. Okay. I'm doing good tonight, Servant David. Okay, let me grab my stuff here. My notes. All righty. Okay, I got 3. This is how sad it is. And believe me, there's a lot of them I probably are not going to be able to cover. Active shooting incidents. Just a shame. And actually, I am a proponent of gun rights versus gun control. But anyway, we'll get into this here. Yeah. I'm going to go over. What I'm going to do first here is I have on my list, I'm going to go over the history and bring up a number of these active shooting incidents and a brief description of what happened. And then I'm going to get into from the FBI and the Department of Justice, as well as some of my own thoughts I put in is we get into the why. And then after that, I'm going to discuss what to do if you're in that situation, as well as I get into also add prevention measures, that you can suggest, whether you work in a corporate building, let's say you work in a tool and die shop or a factory. Any rate, YouTuber promoter PK, thank you for coming, YouTube promoter PK. Appreciate it. Okay, active shooting incidents. Now, I've pulled up stuff going back to the 1980s, so I'll get into it. It's just one is too many, in my opinion. It's sad that this goes on as much as it does. And I'll start off with here, November 21st, which is just, yesterday. Now, I don't have all the information on this because it's just breaking. They were looking for this guy. You might have saw this on the Associated Press. Yes, it is. 8 people were injured in a shooting at the Mayfair Mall in Waukesha, Wisconsin. It's kind of a Native American type name. 7 adults and 1 teenager were taken to the hospital with injuries. The chief of police, Barry Weber, said in a statement, the city's mayor said Saturday that all 8 survived, I believe, recovering. So this incident, this shooting incident at the mall, all 8 survived. Now, the active shooter, the suspect, is still at large, and they're looking for him. The FBI's Milwaukee field office out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, said it's responding to assist local law enforcement personnel. So FBI get involved where they find out who this is, and they jump from state to state to state, as well as the different law enforcement agencies work with each other, especially on these type of incidents. 104th anniversary. Oh, the Britannic. Yeah, that was a ship. Was it I know the Titanic. Okay, that was a Titanic sister. Okay, interesting. Okay. Virginia Tech shooting. This was another big one that was in the news. And I don't mean big as in great, but April 16th, 2007, okay? An undergrad student at the University of Virginia Tech, a U.S. resident of South Korean origin, so he was a South Korean American, shot and killed 32 people and wounded 17 others with 2 semi-automatic pistols. So it's not always these quote-unquote assault rifles like the AK-47s, AR-15s that are involved with these. 6 others were injured jumping out of windows to escape. As the police stormed Norris Hall, that was an area in Virginia Tech, he committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. And then one thing that was, I remember with this incident, he had like a VHS tape or a DVD he made, and he recorded himself with a letter and put it in a mailbox. And I think he sent it to the police, to the local police department, he addressed to, or a news station, or why he was doing that. Yeah, I'm going to get into the level drone. I'm going to get into the why as far as some of the motives and stuff from the FBI and Department of Justice in just a second. I'm going over the history of some of these major shooting incidents here in America. And there have been a couple in Canada. Now, Canada is real restrictive, but I'll get into that. We can talk a little gun control versus gun rights. But right now I'm going to do the history on these. This is one that pretty much everybody knows about, the Columbine High School massacre, or incident. That was April 20th, 1999. A school shooting and attempted bombing occurred on April 20th, 1999. So it wasn't just these 2 students that came in and started shooting. They tried to set bombs in that high school and blow it up, and parts of it. Anyway, let me get to this with the information I have on here. Where is it? The perpetrators were 2 12th grade senior students. They murdered 12 students and 1 teacher. Then they shot themselves. What happened was that I think they were cornered. It was in part of the library of that high school. And as they exchanged some gunfire back and forth, and they went under a table, and then they committed suicide and shot themselves at Columbine. The police were slow to enter the school and were heavily criticized for not intervening during the shooting. But there's 2 sides of that story, because these 2 students were shooting shots outside a window in the walls. So it became an issue of police safety as well. Yeah, it does. Yeah, Elite plays. It happened. The Columbine massacre. There's even Michael Moore did a documentary on it. But there's some good and bad with Michael Moore. He's a cherry picker with his facts, and Anyway, I don't want to get off topic. The police were slow to enter the school and were heavily criticized. Okay, the incident resulted in now this is sort of what good came out of this. This incident resulted in the introduction of the immediate action rapid deployment tactic. So after this Columbine shooting, law enforcement throughout the country of the United States This made major changes on how they react and they're going to deploy to these active shooting incidents, whether it's at a shopping mall, a school, other buildings and places. And they're more of a rapid deployment tactic, which is used in active shooting situations. Columbine also resulted in the increased emphasis on school security with zero tolerance policies, going to bullying and whatnot. Because a little of the history, these two kids were picked on a lot and made fun of, and they felt like outcasts. But I personally believe there's a lot of some mental illness and stuff going on there too, to what these two kids decided to do and take it to this extreme. But it's just one prevention measure. If you, I guess, if you could say you find any good that came out of this, is what was learned and changes to be made in the future from the Columbine High School massacre. That was in Colorado in April of 1999. Now, this is an interesting one, and I'll get into this. You may remember this, you may not. The DC sniper, that's the Washington, DC, the capital. I'll read this and I'll go a little more in detail. The DC sniper attacks, also known as the Beltway sniper attacks, were a series of coordinated shootings that occurred during 3 weeks in October of 2002 in the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, what borders Washington, D.C. 10 people were killed and 3 others critically wounded in the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area right near D.C. The snipers were John Allen Muhammad, age 41 at the time, and Lee Boyd Malavaho, if I'm saying his name correctly. He was 17 at the time, and they traveled in a blue 1990 Chevy Caprice sedan. Their crime spree began in February 2002, included murders and robberies in different states before they went on to sniping and just indiscriminately shooting and killing people on the highway and freeway. In September 2003, Muhammad was sentenced to death. And in October, the other guy, Malavaho, a juvenile, was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences without parole. 2009, he was killed. Now, what made this one really difficult, and I'll get to the chat window, I'm not ignoring you. What they did, and there's a documentary movie they did, and I believe it's on YouTube. They had an old Chevy Caprice, and in the trunk, they drilled out a hole. And he had a rifle, like a deer rifle. And he would shoot at cars and people at the freeway, and I believe near the freeway. And it was really hard for law enforcement to get clues and catch these people because the shells from the rifle went right in his trunk, and they parked somewhere where there's hardly anybody around. And with a rifle, you can about close to a mile, good 500. With a good deer rifle, you can go 500-600 yards, no problem. And that's what made it very, very difficult. And I remember seeing on the news when this was happening, it was showing thousands of law enforcement from different states coming around and trying to look for evidence and get clues. And how they were caught was a lucky catch. It was a state trooper or county sheriff deputy. They parked in some restaurant They parked in some rest stop, not a restaurant. They parked at some rest stop off the freeway or interstate, these two guys, the DC sniper, and they decided to take a nap in their car. Well, it was a county sheriff deputy or a state trooper there who would check these rest stops. And when a car's turned off and people are sleeping after hours, he checks on it to make sure they're okay. Someone didn't have a heart attack, so forth. Well, when he checked on the car, the sheriff deputy or the state trooper went to the car to check on it. He noticed that the rifle in the car, and it was something where he was talking to the two, and their stories weren't making sense. So when he searched the car and found the rifle, then he placed him in custody and got him arrested, and they ended up catching him that way. So it wasn't basically they had clues and evidence and worked on a case and tracked them down. It was just a lucky catch by some state trooper or deputy caught him sleeping in a rest stop off the interstate freeway. And they ended up catching these guys. And it was so scary because it was so tough the way they set this up to get clues and pin down who this guy was. Probably bullies or something that happened in the school. This one I believe was more similar to September 11th, the DC sniper. It was something kind of a radical. He was either a radical Muslim or just it would. I have to watch that documentary again, but I believe it was something religious as well as anti-American. These two guys that were the DC snipers and went around just killing people indiscriminately, and that's how they were caught. If you put in DC sniper shooting incident, there's a documentary movie they did, and I believe it's on YouTube. Yeah, it was elite plays. It was very lucky, but sometimes that's how it works. But thank goodness they caught them. This one is interesting too, because what I'm about to say is true story, what happened, but it takes down some of the norms. Okay. I don't want to say norms. I should say some of people's beliefs and misconceptions is a better word I'm looking for. The misconception that guns aren't always the answer, and sometimes, my opinion, it is a big answer to taking care of these shooters. But anyway, let me talk about this. You probably haven't heard about this. The mainstream media doesn't like to bring this up too often. The Pearl High School shooting. October 1st, 1997. And will you make a stream on Thanksgiving? I don't plan to, but what I'll probably do is I'm going to take that video I did where I went in the flea market. I'm going to upload that probably like Wednesday or Thursday. So that'll be my little big Thanksgiving upload here. Anyway, let me back on track here. The Pearl High School shooting was the first mass shooting committed by a student, by like a high school student in the United States, which occurred October 1st, 1997 at Pearl High School in Pearl, Mississippi. The gunman was a 16-year-old Luke Woodham. He was, anyway, I don't want to get in when he was born and all that. He killed 2 students and injured 7 others at the school after killing his mother at their home earlier. So he ended up killing his mom, took the car, went to school, and then he killed 2 other students and injured 7 others. I don't want to go over everything in the morning here. Where is it? Okay, he drove his mom's Toyota car to the high school. Wearing a trench coat to conceal the rifle. He had a rifle he was carrying. He entered the school and fatally shot. Started shooting the people in the high school. I don't want to. It's got all the names of the students and the people that died. I don't need to get into that. Anyway, this is what's interesting with this. The school's assistant principal, Joel Myrick, M-Y-R-I-C-K, Myrick, anyway, retrieved his .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. So the assistant principal had a pistol in his truck. And I believe it doesn't have it on Wikipedia, but if I remember correctly, I believe he was like a reserve sheriff deputy or a reserve police officer. He did in his spare time, and he kept his handgun in the truck. But because of the gun control laws, he wasn't allowed to have it in the school. So anyway, he retrieved his pistol from his truck. And when spotting Woodham, he's the one who came with the rifle and shot these people in the school, the student, he was attempting to flee the parking lot after the shooting. And the assistant principal here shouted for him to stop, and realizing Woodham what he was doing, another student used his own vehicle to block his path. So as he was trying to get out, another student blocked his path of the driveway, that goes out to the road, so he couldn't get out that way. Then he took, at which point he attempted to get around the obstruction by driving his car over the grass, and he ended up getting stuck in the grass. And seizing the opportunity, the assistant principal, now that he got his pistol out of his truck, pointed the pistol right at him point blank, and then ordered him out of the car and, placed him under arrest and custody. During his trial, this was interesting. Woodham claimed to have gotten the ideas of committing murders by being involved with a satanic cult. Woodham admitted being a Satanist, meaning he believes in Satan. Now, I don't want to go as far as, everyone who believes in Satan is going to commit an act like this, but that's what he said at his trial. Let me get here. I have to go. Okay, Seal Biloxi, thank you for coming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a few more here I'm gonna go over, and then I'm gonna get into the part of the why and as well as what to do, you know. Um, this was one that was in the news just a few years ago. You probably remember this very, very sad incident. The 2017 congressional baseball shooting. These were some members of Congress. They were, I believe, mostly Republicans, and they were out on a baseball field. And then they had a yearly, I think it was members of Congress, once a year, they did a baseball game. Yeah, there's more than one, unfortunately. Anyway, just wrapping this up real quick. It was a number of members of Congress. They were out playing a baseball game, practicing. I'm sorry, they were practicing for a baseball game. They did it once a year, a charity game, and they would raise money for St. Jude Hospital and other charities. Um, and so they were on the field, and it was some guy. It was politically motivated. This guy, he was Hawkinson's attacked. Let me see here. One second. Republic was the first shooting of Congress murder. Okay. Anyway, that's just some little details I don't need to get into. Okay, he was a left-wing activist. They're on both sides. Any rate, yeah, he started shooting and he shot a number of these people. And it showed that one of the Congress members survived and he came back like months later for a hearing in the House and he was on a cane and whatnot. But it was luckily a lot of the Congress members are under protection of the U.S. Capitol Police, and they have police that are assigned to them 24/7, especially when they go out places. So there was an exchange of gunfire between the Capitol Police officers on that baseball field and with this guy, and they ended up killing the guy. But unfortunately, he shot a number of them before the police were able to, take him out. Okay, blessed girl, Joe. Thanks. I got a few more to go over here, and then we're going to get into the why, and then we'll get into what to do. This is another one you probably remember, the 2017 Las Vegas shooting. On the evening of October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock, a 64-year-old man from Nevada, opened fire upon a crowd attending the Route 91 Harvest Musical Festival. I believe it's mostly country music on the Las Vegas Strip in Nevada between 10:05 and 10:15 p.m. He fired more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition from his 32nd floor suite in the Mandalay Bay Hotel, killing 60 people, wounding 411. And it brought on the panic. Injuries, 867 injuries brought on from some of the panic. About an hour later, he was found dead in his hotel room from himself. And so basically he committed suicide. His motive remains officially undetermined. It was a very sad incident. People were attending a country music concert. And then what was real interesting with this was there's a lot of talk too, was like, how in the world did he get these rifles and all these ammunition? Stephen Kitchen, JA for Jamaica, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind words. We're talking about the active shooting incidents. Right now I'm going over the history of some. So what the controversy with that was that how did this guy get all these rifles in his hotel room and all this ammunition up there? Now, if I remember correctly, some of it was he had a golf bag, and that was kind of his disguise in his MO. He'd say, I'm going out golfing, and in the golf bag, he would hide his ammunition and rifle. And the whole people at the hotel desk, once you checked in your room, and he comes in there, with his golf stuff, they're not, checking everybody with a bag going up there. So, unfortunately, I did hear, I can't say for certain that was one way he ended up getting all this stuff up in his hotel room. Now, this one is on YouTube. This is another one here. Oh, thank you for coming, both ladies. Yes, Blessed Girl Joe, Shane Kitchen, J.A. The 2015 attack on the Dallas police station. There's a YouTube video. If you put in like Dallas police shooting or Dallas police headquarters shooting, across from the Dallas police station kind of, I think it was to the right or left. There was some building that went up like 3 stories, and it had an overhang, and it was like a nightclub, and they had dancing and music and an open bar or something up there. So anyway, and the new smartphones, I mean, they got great cameras. Some people were up on this balcony or overhang, and they hear this bang, 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 bang. What this guy did, he was in an armored truck, like one of those Brinks trucks, to deliver money to the banks. He got one of his armored trucks, pulled up in front of the police station, and just with assault rifle started opening up on the police station. Let me read right here from Wikipedia about this, and then I'll tell you a little about the video, and you can watch this if you want on YouTube. June 13th, 2015, James Boulware shot at the Dallas Police Department from an armored van, what appeared to be a semi-automatic weapon. The shooting occurred at the department's headquarters in the neighborhood of Dallas, Texas. He then led police on a chase to a nearby neighborhood where he remained in the van in a standoff with the police. The standoff ended when a police sniper fired a round from a .50 caliber rifle, disabling the engine block, as well as additional rounds in the vehicle to kill the shooter, the driver. After sending in robots to confirm the shooter was deceased, attempt was made to enter the vehicle. Charges were used. Police then verified the suspect was the only person. There was one person who did this, and that he was dead. And the police found 4 bags outside of police headquarters containing pipe bombs. So he actually planted some pipe bombs before he got this armored vehicle in front of the police station and wanted to open up fire on it. And it's on, like I say, if you put in Dallas Police Department HQ shooting, there's a raw video on YouTube. There's a few of them. You can watch it. A guy's got his phone where you'll see this armored truck goes. Okay, I got a few more here. Now, this is one I didn't know about this when I was doing a little research. This dates back to September 26, 1988. The Oakland Elementary shooting. The Oakland Elementary shooting was a school shooting in 1988 in Greenwald, South Carolina, United States, which a 19-year-old James Wilson Jr. shot and killed two 8-year-old students and wounded 7 other students, a teacher and a gym coach at a public elementary school. He shot people in the cafeteria and classroom. He had a history of mental illness. He was indicted on. Now they caught this guy apparently, and I just found out about this doing a little research. 2 counts of murder, 9 counts assault and battery, blah blah blah. He was convicted and sentenced to death by the electric chair and a number of life sentences. So it was 2 deaths with that, 9 injured. Now this dates back. The reason I brought this up, and I didn't even know about this dates back to 1988. Wow. And then there's one more in 89. Yeah. Now this one I vaguely remember in 1989 because it was on the news, and I was, I think like 12, 13 years old around that time. Yeah, just it's a lot of evil in this world, yes. And that was in 1988. This one was in Stockton, California, the Cleveland Elementary School shooting. This was January 17th, 1989. I remember this in the news. Occurred on January 7th. Okay. There was Cleveland Elementary School at 20 East Fulton Street, Stockton, California, United States. A gunman, Patrick Prudy, who had an extensive criminal history, shot and killed 5 school children, wounding 32 others. As first responders arrived at the scene, Prudy he committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. His victims were primarily Southeast Asian refugees, so they were Southeast Asian students. The attack was on the U.S. non-college shooting with the highest number of fatalities and injuries until U.S. Okay, that's just some statistic stuff on here. Well, I got a couple more here, and we'll get into the why. This was another one. You might remember this. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's sad. I'm just bringing this up because there was another public shooting just outside Milwaukee, Shea Kitchen in a mall. 2012, the Aurora, Colorado shooting. This was at the movie theater, if you guys remember this. Yeah, it's sad. There's just a lot of evil in this world, that's for sure. July 20th, 2012, a mass shooting occurred inside Century 16 movie theater in Aurora, Colorado. During midnight screening of the film Dark Knight Rises, dressed in tactical clothing, James Eglin Holmes, I'll just put James Holmes, he set off tear gas grenades in the theater, and then he shot into the audience with multiple firearms. 12 people killed and 70 others were injured, 58 of them from gunfire. It was the deadliest shooting in Colorado since the Columbine Massacre. He was arrested minutes later in his car outside the cinema. He had rigged his apartment with homemade explosives and other I'll just put homemade explosives and other types of devices. I'm sorry. These were diffused by the county sheriff's office when they came there with the bomb squad. Fearing copycat crimes, the movie theaters showing the same film across the United States increased their security. He confessed to the shootings, but pled not guilty by insanity. And then he got a number of, 12 life sentences. Let me see. Did he get the death penalty? No, it just says here like 12 different life sentences this guy is serving. Last one, and I'm going to bring this one up. As you say, wow, that's sad. It don't happen to me. I used to live in the city where this happened. This last one here, they put it back. I don't forget about you. I'm going to get to the chat window, everybody. So putting your comments in. I'm not ignoring you. I got one more to read here, and I'm going to get the live chat. This was in 1996 in Wixom, Michigan, and I lived in Wixom, Michigan from 1999 till late 2001. It was at a Ford Motor Company plant. So anyway, let me read this here. It was a man dressed like Rambo, is what they said. He was in all camouflage fatigues. He was carrying an AK-47, and he shot his way into a Ford plant. He killed a manager and wounded 3 other people as he sprayed gunfire indiscriminately through the Ford plant. And I've been by this Ford plant several times. It's no longer there anymore. This guy was 29 years old, and Gerald Michael Atkins. And he was arrested. After shooting these people in the plant, he hid in a drainage pipe, and the sheriff's department and other local law enforcement agencies at this Ford plant. They all showed up, and they ended up surrendering. They brought in canines. Yeah. He was now this is when kind of how it happened. He was confronted by the security guards at the door, and it was asked to leave. He then pulled his assault rifle and started shooting, and that resulted in chaos and panic, and everybody ran. The gunman fired round after round, moved through the 4.2 million square foot facility. That makes the anyway. That's a Carl. About half of the plant's 3,200 workers were on duty when the shots rang out. Manufacturing planning manager Daryl Lazard, the plant's number 2 official, was walking down a hallway when he was fatally shot. We think it was a random thing. That's the police department. As the gunman moved outside, he began shooting at cars nearby on the interstate, which was closed for about 5 hours in line with patrol cars. And then it was later that day they brought in canines, and he ended up surrendering. This is why I don't play Fortnite. Okay, now let me get to the chat here, everybody. Hold up, AK-47. I remember Florida the other day too at the school. Yeah, there was. Yeah, that was the one in Florida. And what I remember was some controversy with that is they had like a school police officer there, similar to Columbine, and he stayed outside. He didn't go in. He claimed something, and like he felt it was a safety risk for him to come in, and he claimed he felt that it was better wait for more law enforcement to come. And then I believe he was dismissed from the police department for not acting on that. I'll have a few more things to say here. How dare someone kill area's person? Yeah. 8-year-old. What the hell? My God. What the heck? Yeah. I'm going over all your comments here, everybody. Okay. I just typed something in here. Now, one of the things that's another that a lot of people don't realize with these active shooting incidents, the law enforcement, their first primary goal is to neutralize that threat. That's the law enforcement talk, but basically kill the shooter or arrest the shooter if possible. So if they go into some building where there's an active shooting incident, the police are not going to stop and help wounded people on the floor. They're not going to administer CPR, first aid. They go through there to clear a building and make sure that that building is safe and clear of the shooter. And if the active shooter or shooters are in that building, they're going to take them out, meaning they're either going to kill them or make an arrest. That's their first objective, because you can't have, let's say you get a group of 6 police officers that get there and tie up 2 or 3 doing some CPR, first aid on people, and then someone come out from around the corner and start firing upon them. So they have to make sure that area is safe, even before the EMS or fire department could come in and help. So that's law enforcement's first objective. Now, there was one good thing when they had that shooting, and I'm sorry I didn't research it. President Obama spoke on this. A number of the law enforcement, before they secured the area outside the school shooting, it was in the New England area. They rushed right into the building, and they didn't take time to make sure that the shooter wasn't on the roof, or somewhere else. They just put their life in jeopardy and got in there and to get that guy. I know it was, he tried to buy some firearms at like a gun store, and he got turned down because he had a previous criminal record, and he ended up taking some from a family member. And what was so sad is the kids locked themselves in a room, and I'm going to get into that when I talk about what to do if you're in one of these incidents. And the kid told the teacher to hang in there because the good guys are coming. So the police did get in there and get them. I mean, it's heartbreaking, some of that story on that. It really is. But it's a reality, so nothing to be glorified. Anyway, let me get into the why. And then I got some good topics and some good stuff here once we're done on this serious topic here of the active shooting. Yeah, it is heart-wrenching. It really is. It'll make you cry what some of these students said and did on that incident, I tell you. But let me get a drink of my Snapple. My throat's getting dry. Where is it here? Okay. This is from June 18th. I got this here from. Why did Apple say? When did Apple add one emoji? I don't know. But you're more welcome to use an emoji on here. I'm not going to be one of these people that's, oh, no emojis. YouTube puts them out. The only thing you got to be careful real quick, and I'll get into why with emojis, is you don't want to have 5, 6, 7 emojis or put the same emoji 3, 4, 5 times, because that's considered like spamming. But you want to put 2 or 3 emojis in with a comment, go on ahead. Okay, now this is kind of interesting. I'm going to put in some of my own information in with this, but this is what I got from the Department of Justice and the FBI. And when I just went over all these incidents, and some are pretty heartbreaking, first thing we start saying, why? So that's what I'm going to get into here. A study of pre-attack behaviors of active shooters in the United States between 2000 and 2013. Now, this is when the study is made. So it's a little out of date, but the information is still relevant. The 63 active shooters examined in this study did not appear to be uniform in any way, such as they could be easily identified prior to attacking based upon demographics alone. Demographics meaning male, female, as a Latino, Caucasian, someone who's between 20 and 30 or 40 and 50. Is it always an unemployed person? So that they can't pinpoint it like that when they did their study here, the Department of Justice and FBI. Anyway, active shooters take time to plan and prepare for their attack, with 77% of the subjects spending a week or longer planning this attack. Wow. So 77% from this FBI study of these active shooters, they've planned for a good week before they committed their act. Um, where is it? Another one. Okay, 46% spending a week or longer preparing. And anyway, the FBI could only verify that 25% of active shooters in the study have ever been diagnosed with mental illness. So that's another misconception. They're not always, hey, and it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, having hospitals available and treating people with mental illness, and it's a great prevention measure, but that's not all the fix all cure all answer. Like a lot of the mainstream media and talk shows like to say, because they always want a quick feel good answer. According to the FBI, only 25% have actually been diagnosed with a mental illness before the incident. Of those diagnosed, only 3 have been diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder. For active shooters under age of 18, school peers and teachers were more likely to observe concerning behaviors than family members. So that was interesting. This is the FBI study. For active shooters 18 years and over, spouses, domestic partners are more likely to observe concerning behaviors. In the majority of the cases, 64%, at least one of the victims was specifically targeted by an active shooter. So 64% of these incidents, these active shooters have somebody in mind or a certain group in mind. Like, someone goes to somewhere, they're going to go after a certain person or a certain group of people. Okay, methodology. Now, this is from the FBI study. With the goal of carefully reviewing the pre-attack lives and behaviors of active shooters, the FBI developed a unique protocol of 104 variables covering, among other things, demographics, planning and preparation, acquisition of firearms, stressors, so forth, so forth. Now, I got this chart here. I'll read some of the stuff on this chart. Okay. With this study on these active shooters that the Department of Justice and FBI did, 62% mental health issues, 49% financial issues, financial strain. These are things that these active shooters had when they studied. These are types of things that bring upon some of this. Now, it's not one particularly. Job-related issues, 35%. Conflicts with friends and peers, 29%. Mental problems, well, that's similar to mental health, 27%. Abuse of illicit drugs and alcohol, 22%. Conflict at school, 22%. Physical injury, conflict with parents, 18%. Sexual stress, frustration, 13%. Criminal problems, 11%. And it gets into a lot, as I don't want to go every one. Another one, I'm going to get into one before I wrap up the why too, is what I feel. Now, this is just my own opinion, but is you have a copycat, where a lot of people that have some serious mental issues or just whatever the rhyme or reason they're that evil and going to go out and commit an active shooting incident, is if there wasn't so much going on, within the last 20 some years, I'll say, it's been picking up a lot, unfortunately, is the copycat thing where somebody might be more inclined just to shoot themselves or commit suicide. And now it pops in their mind going out doing an active shooting incident. There was some just other really weird ones, like one that really took me back. If you remember, I think it was about 5-6 years ago. It was a news reporter doing a live newscast. And I forget, I think it was South Carolina or Georgia or Florida. And I remember she was on was it she or he was on a balcony, like a wood balcony, doing the report. And it was a domestic related one, if I'm not mistaken. But the guy came up and shot this newscaster doing the live broadcast, and they had to cut away and killed him. Just some sick stuff going on. Now, what to do in an active shooting situation, and I'm also going to take a little step further on prevention, wrapping up the topic here. Oh, no problem, Elite Place. I'll get my train of thought. Let me get into this, what I have written down here. Okay, last part, I'm going to get into what to do if you're in that situation. Now, first, I'm going to talk about what law enforcement teaches, okay? I have a video, where's my pen? I love doing this. Below my video in the description box, Oh, yes. Yeah, Shea Kitchen was a boardwalk. Yep, yep. Below my video, my description box, not right now, I want you to listen to me on the live, but it's there, okay? There's a video, again, I mentioned it earlier, from the Department of Homeland Security and the Houston Police Department called Run, Hide, and Fight. Now, what law enforcement teaches, now this is for people that are unarmed, that don't have a gun, which is the majority of the time. You know, let's say you work at a corporation, it's a 3-story building, you don't have a gun with you, you don't bring a gun to work, you're at a shopping mall. This is what law enforcement teaches: to run, hide, and fight. So anyway, um, first thing is you'll see in that video, it's like a 6-7 minute video. It's really good. First thing it teaches to run, okay? And then call 911 when it's safe. Second option, let's say you can't get out of that building. Let's say you're up on a 2nd floor, 3rd floor, hide. And they go into some details on where to hide, how to hide. For example, let's say you're in a 3-story building, okay? You're at work. You're up on a 2nd floor in the east wing, and you hear the shots go off, and someone comes up and says, hey, we got 2 people down here with guns, and they start screaming and yelling, all right? Well, might not be safe to go try to run down a stairwell and go out that 1st floor. There's 2 people in there. So your option is to hide and definitely, call 911. So what you want to do is you want to find a room, or try to stay away from a closet if you can. And let's say you have a couple coworkers with you and you want to kill the lights. They'll teach you this in the video. Kill the lights. Okay. And another thing you want to do, and this is in the video, barricade that door. Get chairs, some furniture, put that in front of the door. Once you turn out the lights, you barricade those doors. Okay, you're hiding. One last step, you want to keep quiet. So, you tell other people, hey, I know you're shook up. Stop crying. This is life or death. Stop talking. Just shut up. I hate to be forceful like that, but you're talking a life or death situation. They teach us in the video. And the third thing is to fight. Now, this is if need be, last resort. And a few notes I'll take on here is, the gun is the best tool, but we're talking, you're in a work situation, you don't have a gun with you. So anything that you can use as a weapon, an extension of an arm. And in the video, it shows them, one of the people grabbing a fire extinguisher and puts a chair near the door. So the minute if they start pushing that door through with the furniture in front of it, it's going to come down on them with the fire extinguisher and hit them. I mean, this could be a weapon, a pen right in your hand if you hit somebody in the right spot. I don't want to get into specifics. Oh, Sonia Art, thanks for coming. Let me take a quick note here. Just finishing up a serious topic about active shooters. So that's the third thing to do, and it's, if need be, last resort. Don't try to go on an offensive position with an active shooter. If you're ever in that situation, it's a defensive fight. Basically, what they teach is for you to set the trap. So let's say you're in a little conference room or small little office, you shut off the lights, you barricade that door. You want to grab something, anything that could be used as a weapon, and take usually I don't think there's ever been one with it's a woman as an active shooter, but take them by surprise. So that shooter came through a door. Now they teach you this in that video, Run, Hide, and Fight, by Department of Homeland Security and the Houston Police Department. Very good video. I have in my description box. So those are a few things, just my own notes with it too. And a gun would be the best to take on an active shooter, but we're talking real life, realistically, and it's very few people have guns at work or allowed to even have them in there. So that's what they teach in this video. And one last time, it's in the description box. You can check it out. Run, Hide, and Fight if you're ever caught in an active situation. Now, one last thing I want to enter in this. What could be done to stop this or to prepare for it? And I get into prevention. And these are just some of my own notes on this. And I'm going to get to the chat window. I'm not ignoring anybody. One thing you can always suggest, now, if you're at a small business, let's say you work at a restaurant, like a Subway or something like that, just hypothetically, it'd be different. But doing mock drills, for most people, let's say you're in a company, whether it's a corporate building, a tool and die shop, for example, doing mock drills, having an emergency action plan in place. Okay. It's that preparation and prevention. So by unfortunate chance, if there's an active shooting incident and you're at your workplace there, prevention is one of the big keys. And then, okay, Ed, well, what's the prevention? So an emergency action plan could be some simple stuff. You could have a loudspeaker code, do a mock drill once a year, just like a fire drill, code blue, or, code 91, code 91. They do a drill once a year. Then that's the run, hide, fight drill, let's say. Another thing is, but unfortunately, companies don't want to spend the money, but you can always suggest this if it gets brought up, is bring law enforcement out to do drills. A lot of law enforcement agencies will do this for companies, bigger companies, corporations, but emergency action plan put in place is a great prevention measure, a yearly mock drill, just like a fire drill. Classes on this topic too, just like this video, run, hide, fight, and then a number of law enforcement agencies do classes for free. All it takes is an HR manager or somebody from a corporation or company to contact them and schedule, a couple days where they come out and split half the employees and have a class on what to do. And they'll go over this run, hide, and fight and a lot of other things. But that's one key thing that can be done. And it gets down to the money. They don't want to have people get a half a day off work and, it'll never happen here, but when it does happen, then you're playing, what's the old term, Monday morning quarterback. So, that's something, if that topic ever gets brought up in your workplace, just remember my live and what I'm saying. Say, hey, one thing that can be done is prevention. Call law enforcement, have them come out and do a class on this topic. Let's have an emergency action plan put in place. So those are some things that could be done to save lives as far as, active shooters. And it's just as deadly as a situation as a fire in a building, bomb threats, stuff of that nature. Anyway, GM, you are all going to rest. Oh, good morning. Okay. All right. Blessed girl, Joe. Always happy. Sonia Art, Elite Plays. Okay. I'm just going over the chat here. Is there anything, I'm going to move on to some funner stuff here to talk about with the active shooting incidents and shooters topic. Anything anybody would like to say, go on ahead, put it in the chat window. I'm going to get a drink of Snapple and we'll move on to some, I should say, fun stuff, lighter topics. Okay. Let me stretch my leg out for a second. This is pretty cool now. All right, here. This is from United Press International. What is this? Oh, November 13th. Okay. A 10-year-old boy becomes the youngest person to kayak the Grand Canyon. This is a pretty cool story. A Colorado fifth grader may have set a new world record when he kayaked 280 miles of the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. His parents are both experienced kayakers, and they joined him when he did this for 280 miles, but he kayaked by himself. They were with him at the time, like in different kayaks, through the Grand Canyon. It was fun. I love the big waves, the boy told QUSA TV. His parents said they have filed paperwork with the Guinness World Records to have him certified as the youngest kayaker to navigate the length of the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. It was a pretty big deal. I just believed him being able to make it all happen, and I felt that he had skills, his father said. So that's pretty cool. A 10-year-old boy kayaked 280 miles through the Grand Canyon on the Colorado River. This is from the United Press. So that's pretty cool. That's young talent right there. Oh, yeah. Shade Kitchen. Isn't that pretty cool? So, 10-year-old boy kayaked 280 miles on the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. Set a new world record. That's from United Press International. They have all kinds of cool stories in here, the UPI November 13th. New Guinness World Record. Yes. Congratulations to him. What else do we have? Oh, this is the teaser I gave you guys early. One of them. Where is it here? Money from the sky. Money from the sky. Yes, money from the sky. A man sells a meteorite that crashed through his roof for over $1 million. No joke. November 18th, 2020, UPI again. An Indonesian man turned an unusual bit of property damage into a fortune when he sold a meteorite that crashed through his roof for over $1 million. He was working outside his home in Sumatra, if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's a city or area in Indonesia. Indonesia is an island not far from like the Philippines, over in that area. For some people may not know. So anyway, he was working outside his home when a meteorite crashed through his roof of the house and landed outside. Says here, when he lifted it, the stone was still warm and he brought it in the house. The 4.5-pound chunk of cm and a half carbonite, I can't even pronounce this other word. It's a rare variety. It's a rare meteorite. So this is a very, very rare meteorite. And I'll show you a picture in a second here. Was valued at $1,858,556 by experts and attracted the attention of a guy from the United States, Gerald Collins, who purchased the meteorite. Then he resold it to a collector, another collector here. Where am I? Okay. He said the money will, now this is the guy who sold the meteorite for $1 million. He said the money will allow his family to expand, and he also has plans to donate some of the money toward building a local church. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let me get the picture now. This is not photo paper, just my regular paper. But this is the meteorite rock. A picture of it right here is a guy's holding it. So I guess it's a very rare type of carbonite and a very rare meteorite. So that's one of those things too that if it's brought to the U.S., it'll probably be put in one of these colleges or universities, you know, with astronomy or whatnot. Typically, maybe it might go to the Smithsonian. Who knows? Anyway, guy got $1 million for it. Man, that's pretty cool. But it's I also liked here he's going to use some of the money and donate it to build a local church. So money from the sky, yes. So I guess if a meteorite ever lands in your backyard, don't put it out to the garbage. Could be worth a lot of money. Yeah, it was his lucky day. Yeah. I wouldn't mind. Let a meteorite hit my house. I'll call my insurance company, have them pay to fix my house, and I'll take that meteorite and sell it. Yeah, you probably got better odds of though winning like your state lottery than getting the meteorite hit your house. But hey, you know, you never know. Could happen. Guy got $1 million selling a meteorite to hit his house in Indonesia. Okay, what else we got going here? Let me put a big thank you. You know, I got to do a couple channel drops. Shay Kitchen J. I did some channel drops when I started my show, and then some of you guys came in here just a little bit later. So I want to try to make sure I do a channel drop for everybody, as well as I encourage genuine networking. That's subscribing to someone's channel, dropping a like and a comment, and doing a full watch on one of their videos, genuine networking. This is a good friend of mine. Cooking videos. She does some live broadcasts. Very genuine, great person. Couldn't ask for a better YouTube friend, I tell you. I'm going to put you in here. Channel drop coming up. Blessed Girl Joe, I got a channel drop on you. Sonia Art, let me get you in here. Leap Plays, I know I got a channel drop on you. Sonia Art. Oops, I gotta do channel. Okay. Yeah, oh, I already got you in my tribute video list. Okay, cool. Let me get you on a channel drop. Now, Sonia Art does all kinds of it's arts and crafts videos. It's some pretty cool stuff I watched on her channel. And another genuine person, she comes on my channel often and comments and watches my videos. And I return the favor as well. So good person to be connected with. Definitely. Who else do I have in here recently? I know I'll do another one on Elite Plays and Bless a Girl Joe, because you're right in here. If I didn't mention your name and you're still in here, just type in a comment. I'll give you a second channel drop here. Well, because part of my live broadcast, I like to encourage networking with each other, genuine networking. Elite Plays. Okay, 1 second. Where do I have you in here? Filter channel. There's a few different Elite Plays. Okay, I got you. Elite Plays does a lot of basketball stuff, but not only that, but Elite Plays will come on your channel and watch your stuff, leave likes and comments. You know, you return the favor. Good, genuine YouTuber, definitely. Bless her girl, Joe. Let me give you another channel drop here, my friend. And I'll get back to the show here and some of the topics I got coming up. I'm just taking a quick little break here so we can network with each other. Bless it, girl, Joe. Copy. Okay, one more channel drop here. You're more than welcome, Shay Kitchen JA. You're more than welcome. Okay, 4 people in here. Let me get a sip of my Snapple. Got some other interesting stuff to talk about. But we're going to be on a much lighter note. We're done with the active shooter talk. But I wanted to talk about it. I knew it's kind of a sad topic, but with this latest incident just happened in Milwaukee, it's something I wanted to address and maybe share some of this information. And I think it can help some people too. You know, like I say, I put that video out, some of the information, the run, hide, and fight. There was one too, I just remembered, was prevented. It was in just outside Dallas, Texas. I think this was in 2013 or 12, but there was a group of these cartoonists. It was like a group of cartoonists. And some of the cartoonists did like political cartoons, and part of the cartoons they did, or quite a few of them, was making fun of the Prophet Muhammad and Islam, as well as they did cartoons making fun of Christianity. You know, they would do stuff on religion. But anyway, at this convention center, and this is why I'm bringing this up because of prevention, they said they would allow them to have this cartoon convention. And there was a lot of controversy because Lies cartoons dealt with making fun of religion, Islam, and I think there was some on Christianity as well. But anyway, the convention center outside Dallas, Texas, told this group, you can have this here, but you're going to have to pay for police protection here. They're going to be charged. Anyway, I think there was 6 or 8 Dallas police officers, or this suburban city just outside Dallas, that came there. Long story short, by one of the main entrance doors, and they oversaw the parking lot, it was a traffic patrol cop that was working there. And 2 guys got out with assault rifles and were going to come in there and just shoot everybody up. And then the traffic police officer noticed the guy was dressed like in the way he was dressed and acting. It caught the attention of him, and the shootout ensued right in the parking lot. And this Dallas police officer shot and killed both of them before they can come in there and just with these assault rifles and wreak havoc. So that was something good that happened. And what was interesting with that story too, there was an FBI agent that was arrested. Is the police responded to this shooting? Is he gotten a shot out? Shots fired, and this Dallas police officer shot these 2 people that were going to go in and do this shooting in this convention center. As the call went out, no, it wasn't a sniper. As the call went out, other law enforcement agencies started coming there, and they caught one guy. They were placing people in custody because they didn't know who was who all at first when they got there. One guy had a gun on him, and they ended up finding he was an FBI agent out. So there was FBI that were staking this place out too. But it was kind of interesting what happened there. But I just wanted to bring that up one more time because it's about, I was mentioning that prevention. Anyway, JKJA. This was kind of interesting and fun here. 8mm film returned to Minnesota Library 40 years overdue. And I got a picture of this. Now, let me read this first and I'll explain the 8mm film. Anyway, employees at the Minnesota Library found an unusual item in a return bin, an 8mm film that was 40 years overdue. An employee at the Duluth Public Library, this is in Minnesota, said he was emptying a return bin when he spotted what was initially thought to be a CD compact disc audiobook, but a closer look and examination revealed it was an 8mm movie on reel. This is the librarian. I'd never seen one before. The employee told the Duluth News Tribune, that's the newspaper. The film reel, a copy of the classic silent film A Trip to the Moon, was accompanied by a post-it note reading, "Sorry, checked out this item when I was 14 years old. We moved. It is 40 years overdue, but better late than never." Ranald Broyd, 54, came forward as the man who returned the film. He said he found it in a box in his garage earlier this year and remembered that he and his brother checked it out at a library September 2nd, 1980, shortly before the family moved to North Dakota. At first, this is the guy, he didn't know what it was till he looked at it. Brody, he said he offered to pay a late fee to the library, but Mr. Johnson, this guy at the library, said the library did away with overdue fines about a year and a half ago. Oh, my Lord. Can you imagine an overdue fine on something you checked out from, 1980 or 1980? Anyway, it says here, the librarian Johnson said he no longer has means to test whether the film works or not and is still watchable, as the old projection room has been transformed into the bathroom years ago. He said the film will likely find a new home in his personal museum on his desk, so he must have collectibles on there. Here's a picture of it. And I remember this when I was in school, when I was a real little kid, these type of film reels, they're bigger. But here is the film reel, and this is like the little library card, the sticky note. Here's a library card, probably stamped, for 80 or 81. But I remember, oh gosh, I want to say like when I was in second or third grade, before they had the VHS tapes out in the VHS machines by the mid 80s, we used to watch some movies, and there was actually a big film projector, and they had these reels. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the paper to just show this one more time. But they had these reels just like this, but they were like twice the size of this. And then there was also the films had like the sound, the speaker was put in the film projector. And you'd have one reel here, one reel here. The back reel would be the full reel, and the one in the front would just pull it forward. And as the film went through it, it had the big lens, and you had a screen you'd pull down, and you'd turn off all the lights in the classroom, and you'd watch the film, the movie with the sound. But then around like 84, 85, all the schools, a lot of places were getting those video cassette machines, and that just put all that film reel stuff just obsolete, done away with it. Then, technology, DVD came out, and now everything's just, you could bring it up, plug your computer into the TV, and go online and watch something. But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny and interesting. So people had a film reel that they found they checked out back in 1980 and finally returned it to a library. A few more things to go over here, talk about. And what do we got here? Oh, this is a cool story here, everybody. Man wins $100,000 by buying 20 identical lottery tickets for one drawing. All right, this is November 20th. A man won a $100,000 prize from the Virginia lottery drawing with $5,000 prize tickets, buying 20 identical tickets bearing the numbers that previously won him a much smaller jackpot. James Simpson, whereas Elizabeth City, North Carolina, told the Virginia lottery officials he decided to buy 20 pick four tickets bearing the number combination 1441 when he visited this local tavern here. Simpson said he knew the numbers were lucky because a few years ago, the same combination earned him a $5,000 jackpot. His purchase for the November 2nd drawing earned him a grand total of $100,000, $25,000 prizes. Simpson said he plans to use the winnings to pay off bills. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So basically, he played that 4-digit number. Just about all 50 states here have the like a daily 3, a daily 4 jackpot, and then if you hit the daily 4, it's $5,000. But that's one ticket, $1. So he bought 20 of the tickets, the same number, and played it. So $5,000 times 20, 100,000. Anyway, here he is. Let me bring this into view. Here's this big, they usually give you, like, when you hit a big lottery jackpot, they give you one of these checks. They enlarge it here and take a photo, and he's got his mask on right here, holding it up, $100,000. So that's pretty cool, man. Good for him. That's awesome. That's good to hear that. I guess sometimes it plays, but it is gambling. So, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. He came out a big winner this time. What was it? Oh, yeah, he's going to pay off some bills. Awesome. Raul, hey, thanks for coming. Yeah, congratulations to James. I'm doing good, Raul. I'm doing good. I already got you on the list for the tribute video. I don't know if you saw my description box. I went over a whole topic on active shooters. And now I'm just getting into some fun news stories here that I pulled up and some other stuff to talk about. Let me get a sip of my Snapple here 1 second. Oh, thank you for coming. I appreciate you making the show. Oh, this is a cool story. Florida family finds message in a bottle sent from Cuba during Hurricane Irma. Okay, let me read this here. A Florida family was exploring River Island when they found a message in a bottle sent nearly 3 years ago from Cuba. Katie Bulford, with her family when they found, or she was with their family when they found a plastic bottle, cut it open to find a note inside. I made this, and now this is what the message read. Okay, this is what the message said in the bottle, what they found. And I'll show you a picture. I made this letter in Hurricane Irma. I live in Cuba. The wind is 139 miles per hour right now. My goal is to send this letter to Florida. I really want to live in northern Florida because it's very cool and tropical. Bye. I really hope someone finds this. And then it says here, Hurricane Irma was a Category 5 storm, which had wind speeds that reached 185 miles per hour. The storm killed 134 people and caused an estimated $50 billion in damage as it swept across the Caribbean and Florida. You did it. Okay. Anyway, let me show you a couple pictures here. Here is this first picture. This is the note that was in the bottle. Now, it got a little bit, the bottle was still dry. It was like a water, like one of those bottled water bottles, the plastic bottled waters, like an Aquafina. But it's that cold air, all that moisture around it. But he was able to piece it all together and read that message. And then here is this is another photo, the video from the news station where I got this news story from. This is the letter on the thing. And then this was the actual bottle right here, the water bottle that they opened up to get this out of. So that was pretty interesting. Some young kid, it sounds like a young boy or kid here. Did it say the age? Anyway, wants to leave Cuba and come to Florida. So put a message in a bottle and say, hey, apparently too, it showed in there, they love to find who this person is in Cuba and say, let them know that they got this message. But yeah, that's a pretty cool story. Maybe someday they will. Maybe they'll get the news story out to Havana and track down who put that in there. Maybe at least give them a tourist visa to come to Florida. If you get a message in a bottle that makes it to Florida, I feel that deserves a free trip, don't you? What else do I got going on here? Oh, yep. Let me get another sip of Snapple. Weird, but okay. Yeah, it is weird, but okay. Yep. There was some other stories. There's people who do that, whether on the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean or out in the Indian Ocean, they'll put a type of message in a bottle and toss it out and see if someone finds it. Yep. Where are we here? Oh, problem in Central Park in New York City, around there. This is November 21st, just a couple days ago here, from the New York Post. Giant New York rats are overtaking Central Park and the UWS. Now, I'm not sure what the UWS stands for. I think it's, anyway, I'll read the story. It's like right around Central Park. Rat school is in session as fed up New Yorkers try to learn how to deal with the surging rat population. Yes, you got it, Shay's Kitchen. Yep. Rats as big as bunnies are roaming the streets, and I got some pictures to show you, in broad daylight, nesting in trees and chewing through car engine wires that can cost thousands to fix. The 311, I guess that's like a 911 number, but it's 311 hotline complaints about rats have totaled 12,632 so far this year, a third more than 9,042 for all of 2019. With the Upper West Side teeming with hungry critters, Central Park is overrun with huge fat rats, Salone wrote. I saw a man on a bench swatting at these rats unsuccessfully with a rake. So some guy had a rake and was swatting at these rats and couldn't get rid of them. Oh, Upper West Side. Thank you so much, Shane Kitchen. Okay, so that's Upper West Side. I haven't been to New York City. I'm well aware of Central Park. It was in the movie Home Alone 2, and it's been in a few other movies there, the Central Park area. Okay. Let me get back to the story here. Oh, not a day goes by Amanda Levine doesn't see at least one rat. She sprays her Jeep Grand Cherokee with a cocktail of cinnamon and mint oils and water under the hood and on all four wheel bearings to ward off the critters. Her apartment complex at 107th Street between Amsterdam and Broadway, her neighbors tell her they can hear the screeching behind the walls. The Department of Sanitation is responsible for both street cleaning and garbage collection. Spokesman Mr. Goodman told the Post, that's New York Post, that the DSNY is committed to keeping the city clean and reducing the rat population. Only when residents, businesses, and cities work together can they address the problem. Now, here's a couple pictures I want to show you. Here's a picture that was in there. This is a big old rat going underneath like some fence post here. Oh, yeah, they need cheese and pizza. I didn't think about that. Yep. And then here's the lady. There's a prevention measure. She's spraying the Grand Cherokee right here, her cocktail mix right in the spray bottle. And she's showing where she sprays. Huge rats. But what didn't mention it, what I found here is, if I'm in, I don't care whether it's New York City or where I live here in Detroit, I got a rat problem. I'm setting up some rat traps. Oh, yeah. One of the big ways you can catch them things, they sell the old school mouse traps, but they make them the size for rats and mice. Put a little peanut butter on there. Take, a stick, a little peanut butter, spread it on that thing. Set that trap up, the spring-loaded jobbies. They come in, eat it. Pow! They'll take them out, but I'm surprised they ain't setting up some rat traps. But I guess it's one preventive measure, spraying that stuff. I know one thing is probably, not leaving food and garbage and stuff out for me. Bring up a good point. Shay's Kitchen. Now, are you in New York City? I know Tina with Christina Vlogs YouTube channel. She lives in New York City, so she's probably been hearing about this on the news. But New York City is a very, very big city, I don't know. She stays near Central Park or that area. Okay, you're in Jamaica. Okay, I got you. Yep. But this Tina would probably know real well about this because she lives in New York City, or at least heard about it. But New York City is pretty huge, so she might not be near Central Park. You got Queens, Brooklyn, Harlem, um, Manhattan. It's just very big. Oh, okay. You saw the news. All right. Yeah. I think the only city bigger than New York City is Los Angeles, which Los Angeles is like a county and a city together. But yeah, that's one thing I found when I was reading it is like, well, why not set up the traps? So I don't know. Anyway, a couple more things to talk about. Let me get my Snapple here. Okay, so you saw it on the news too. All right. I'm going to come see you if I ever go to Jamaica. I would like to go there someday, believe me. Oh, yes. Right now just today we had the snow, so cold weather. Jamaica would be really nice about now, I tell you. Get out of the snow and the cold weather for sure. This is the story I wanted to talk about. I mentioned earlier as one of my teasers in my show here. I'm going to upload this video either like Wednesday or Thursday. A week ago from the day, I went to this place. It's in Waterford, Michigan. It's about a half hour, 20 minutes from Detroit, the Waterford, Michigan. And they have this place called the Dixieland Flea Market. And I've been there a few times before. Now, I'll say this first, though. Why in the world they call it the Dixieland Flea Market makes no damn sense to me. I'm in Detroit. I could maybe call it like the Yankee Workshop Flea Market. I could see it was in the middle of Mississippi or Louisiana. Anyway, that's a whole other topic, wherever the hell they got the name from. But it was fun time. This flea market's antiques and arts and collectibles, all kinds of cool stuff. Like one of the things I filmed, and I'm going to get to the story about the guy here who got really mad at me. But I figured out why he was really mad. Anyway, as I walk in there, like one of the first things I noticed, there was some antique furniture and stuff, and I'll show it in the video. And then like one guy had a booth with the like sports collectible picture frames. And then he had all these like Star Trek figures that were still new in the package from like Star Trek Voyager and the original Star Trek movies and stuff. Where is it? Another booth. This guy was into the arts. Really nice. And I have it in the video. He talked to me. He says, sure. So I told him, I says, I'll take your Facebook page, for your booth and what you do, your arts thing is meditation and arts. And he does like, anyway, I said, I'll get your Facebook page, put in the video. And then I went around and filmed his booth and I talked to him for a good 20, 30 minutes. Now the video, I only put in like, I think 3 minutes of it, showing us stuff in the video. So anyway, but I ran into people that were all friendly and nice until I'm almost done going through this flea market. It's like a big, big warehouse building, with all these different booths and crap set up. And this guy's got this booth, and inside it's like on top, he's got these purses marked with the Gucci purchase, and he's got like Gucci belts, and I think it was Donna Karan New York stuff, all this fancy crap, in his display case. Then he had some Timberland boot stuff. So I'm out in the hallway, which I'm allowed to do, and I got my tripod and I'm filming. And he goes, and I'm not putting this in the video. I'll get to that in a second, but I might put it in a different video. Why I don't. First, my intention is not to film, just say, hey, I have a right to film and I'll film you whether you like it or not. That's not my intention. I always ask people for their consent, So as I'm filming his stuff, not filming anybody, guy rudely yells. He goes, what are you doing over there? Oh, no, first it was, can I help you, sir? Can I help you? So I just answer back, no, I'm good. I'm just filming. So I keep filming. He goes, well, why? What are you doing? Don't be filming my stuff. This is my stuff. I says, I got a right to film. I'm not filming you. No, that's my stuff. You go film somewhere else. Leave. Something like that. I said, hey, no problem. So I get my camera and I just I walked past and I just kept going down the hallway. I said I had some other few things to film there anyway, you know. And two is I didn't want a whole confrontation and blow out and some employees come to the market and you know, I'm trying to, you know, finish up my filming. It's a really cool video and I will be uploading it later this week. So I'm like, why in the world is this guy going nuts? But when I got out of the market and I'm putting the stuff in my car, it says, that's it. What the guy's doing is illegal is he's selling counterfeit goods. That's what dawned on me. He's got all this Gucci, Donna Karan, New York, these quote unquote Timberland stuff. So I showed the video actually one of my coworkers and he looked at it and he goes, I can't tell with the Gucci and Donna Karan, New York and these other name brand, but he says, I could definitely tell those Timberlands are knockoff fake crap. Yeah, yes, you can. Yep. All you got is, I forget the exact authority it puts it in. A lot of times a company will go after them too. All I have to do is take that video clip and go send it to like Gucci, Timberland, Donna Karan, New York, find out who they are and send that clip to them and the location and stuff if I wanted to go that route. So anyway, that's why I'm like, that's why he got so mad at me. Now, the reason I'm not putting this clip in my video, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely let DKNY know if I get any flack from this guy or any issue. Yeah, because that's one thing that they're big on, because that's a death blow to a major business when knockoff stuff starts going out. Because not only is it money getting lost, but it devalues that product. When there's so much fake Donna Karan, New York or Gucci stuff or Timberland stuff going out there, knockoff fake, you know, then why somebody will say, well, why the hell am I going to pay for a Donna Karan, New York belt or a purse and $200, $500? They got this stuff right there at the flea market for $40, just as nice, you know? So yeah, they wouldn't play. Now, the reason I got the video, and I think it's about little over 20 minutes, I left this clip out. Okay, revenue devolved and also companies too. Okay, interesting. All right. I chose to leave this clip out of the video. It'll say Dixieland Flea Market, and then I do my usual spiel. Hey, InfoSpot 411 YouTube channel, Dixieland Flea Market. Come on in with me. Let's check it out. And I go around. The problem is I can put him in the video whether he likes it or not. You don't always need someone's consent. But here's the problem. When I monetize it, if you monetize a video and you don't have somebody's consent, now you can run into civil problems, not criminal problems, civil problems. Because someone say, hey, I didn't give you consent to film. I didn't give you consent to film me. You're making money off of me and put me in your video. So you can get in trouble with that. Another way you can get in trouble, but this is something totally different, is if you I'm trying to think of the word. 1 second. Starts with D. You make somebody out to be something they aren't. Defame, and slander. Like, let's say, here's an example. Let's say someone takes a video of me. All right, and I didn't give consent. I'm at a pool, and they do a video, and it's, let's say, LGBTQ, LGBTQ in the Detroit area. And they have me in that video walking by a pool deck, and I'm talking with some friends. And I'm not a gay in any way, shape, or form. But if somebody used me in that way in a video, and maybe out to be that way, they're talking, that's a major lawsuit too. So that's why you always want to get someone's consent. You don't always need it, but it's a good thing to do. Yeah. Or they want to share the payment. Exactly. But that's why I'm going to monetize a video. I'm leaving them out, but I did have an idea either around January, New Year's, and you could do this too for your channel. There's always, I forgot there was like the 40 question quiz thing that goes around these challenges. But here's an idea you can do for something for fun. Either at New Year's or on your anniversary date for your YouTube channel. And an idea I had, I'm going to float around, is that I'm going to take, like, I get just a printout of my video, all my videos on my channel, and sit and talk about your different videos and some of the insight and thoughts about it. Like, for example, I might say, hey, I did a product review last spring on the toilet bowl golf game. And it's something that, like with that video, I'll talk a little bit about it. Say, hey, this thing, I remember me and my buddy Paul, we filmed it, and it's on my channel, the toilet bowl golf game review. We laughed so effing hard. It's like one of these little gag gifs. It was as seen on TV, and it's actual like this green felt, and it goes around the toilet bowl, and you get a plastic cup, and it says number 2, and you hit the ball with a little plastic putter, and it's got a sign to put on the bathroom door. But what I'm getting at, not going too far off track, is that's something I had in mind of talking about some of these videos and things, and there's a number of things you talk about, like maybe you had some filming problems, you had to shoot it 2 or 3 times, or, just different thoughts on it and go through your channel. I thought about, as well as getting some different outtakes. I've had some stuff that I didn't put in my videos for one reason or another, so I might do that. But yeah, in the future, I might get that clip and put it in there. Just, I won't monetize it, but that's not my intention in general. My intention, the whole thing, was just to film a lot of stuff there. Now, I had another guy, for example, when I did this video, I walked through and he had, let me change this light. Give me 1 second, everybody. I mean, the battery. I got to change the battery in this light. It's getting dim. Okay. All right, perfect. There we go. My battery lasts about an hour. This light I have here, so I just swap out the battery. Anyway, back to the story here real quick with the Dixieland flea market. And I'll do this video probably like Wednesday, Thursday-ish. So anyway, my intent is just, like I said, just to go through there, show everybody the stuff. There's some cool stuff there. A fun video to watch. But one other guy I went to, I showed the sign in my video, but I went to go in. This guy was like half asleep in his chair. It was Curly's Musical Shop. So I go up, and the guy is Curly. He's some older white guy. And he's half asleep in his chair. I said, hello. And he wakes up. Yeah. So I show him my card, say, hey, I'm doing a video on the Dixieland flea market. I'd like to come in here and just, tell the people a little bit about your musical shop. I see you're selling guitars. You got drums. You have the tambourines and some of the other stuff here for sale. It'd be free advertisement. I said, I'll run the camera, introduce you, tell people a little about your booth. I said, I'm going around. And he goes, nah, I probably won't be here once winter comes. I'm going to go over to Gibraltar at this other convention center. So I don't want to be bothered. I said, okay, bye. There was one other guy, and just this guy selling the knockout stuff, and went nuts. But anyway, I'll be uploading that video Wednesday or Thursday. Tomorrow I'll do the tribute video for everybody here that's on this live, or that, leaves a comment and watches it tomorrow, as well as the previous live I did. I got a list, so you'll be in there for the tribute video, and I'm going to upload that tomorrow. Let me get a sip of Snapple. All I got left here is just some general conversation. If anybody wants to make a comment or something to talk about, I got 4 people still here. It's funny you say this real quick. Jay, the civil problem, yes, or they want to share the payment. Very similar to that is with a lot with the music, where you can, a lot of videos people make on YouTube to use music. And now some are the copyright claims, some are copyright strike, where they'll allow you to use the music, let me think of a band. Let's say it's Jay-Z, Lady Gaga or Bob Seger, whatever, artist or band you got, you use a song. Now that might a lot of times allow you to use that music in your video, But the thing is the video gets monetized in whoever owns the rights to that music. So like, let's say you use some Lady Gaga song, Poker Face or something. I don't know what record company she's on, but let's say Capitol Records has the rights to it. They'll say, okay, you can go ahead and use it. Then they'll monetize your video and they get all the money proceeds from it. You can't, monetize it, just something. Now, some artists as well as the people who own the rights, like the music companies, will not allow you to use your music, period. I know one that was really adamant when he was alive, is probably still, is Prince. A lot of people tried using Prince stuff and they don't even bother with that. I know Prince was real adamant, didn't want his music shared on YouTube. Yes, the music is tricky. You can share it and get millions of views, but don't receive a penny. That's very true. Yes. Yep. Well, that's like my tribute video. I wrote a song, Real Friends. And where I got the idea for this song, Real Friends, I wrote the lyrics, and I had a lady I know who does this, and she sang it. Was one of my favorite songs in the 1990s, was by TLC. It's called What About Your Friends? It's about who you keep company with, and, genuine friends versus people that, I always using the word fake and phony, but people that are just friends with you for a certain reason, they can get something from you. Very, very great song. The video was very done well and how they did it. So I wrote a similar song, but it has like a sort of a hip hop beat and sound and different lyrics. But I do mention in the song, I said TLC sang about this in 1992. Will friends stand their ground, be around? But anyway, I'm going to put that in the tribute video, and that'll be the first song. It's going to be called Real Friends. She sang a song for me that I wrote for that Cadillac video. I Miss My Eldorado, because I wanted to do songs specifically to Cadillacs for it. So claim from record label, not only copyrights. Oh, yes. Yeah. Claim from record labels, not only copyrights. Yep. Oh, okay. Thanks. Actually, was it 3 songs or no, 4 songs? There was 4 of those songs in the Cadillac video. And if you want any of those songs to use, you go, I have the rights to them. Because a couple of them, I paid some people to do them, and it says commercial rights, meaning people will do a song for you, a custom song, the beat, and sing it and say, this is my price that I charge, and it's yours. That's the commercial rights. And one was really great. This guy is from, I think it's Kenya, and is a second song in the Cadillac video. And man, did he have a good voice, and the lyrics and the beat and the way he did it. But yeah, any of those songs. And I'll put that in the tribute video as a second or third song, because the list I got from, where is this here? 1 second. This is from, and I have the thing say from last a week and a half ago, 2 weeks from the previous live. And then I got right here my little, my scratch pad. So I'm probably going to go well over the 3.5 minutes for that new song I'm going to release on there, Real Friends. And you'll hear the other great song I like. Oh gosh, it was something Cadillac. It's from the Cadillac video. Great voice. Okay. Yeah, it's the second song. I used it in a previous video, not Real Friends, but this Cadillac song. But I'll put it in with this tribute video. It'll be tribute video. I think I'm on 13 already. But one thing I wanted to do, I did a little different this time. I try to do a live broadcast once a week, but I get busy doing things. So it might be like every other week I do one, but I'm probably going to do my tribute video and combine them for 2 live broadcasts in a row, where I'm not going to do one every live broadcast every week and wear out. It does get good traction. I usually get around 1,000 some hits on those the tribute videos, which is beneficial to both of us. Beneficial to me, helps out my channel with views and that, as well as for you guys, for exposure. So anyway, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll get the tribute video number 13, and you're going to be in it. Wow, 6 people. Again, thank you so much for everybody being here. I'm just in the last part of my live broadcast here, and I'm going to wrap this up shortly. Just general conversation. I went over everything. Is there any questions or something you guys would like to talk about? Feel free. Go ahead. People gravitate to your. Oh yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, the junkyard haul. We did 3 of them. Um, that's my friend Brad. He does that for a side income. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, he does that for side income, and he makes he makes a nice chunk of cash off that. He mainly gets engine and transmissions. Now he will get some other auto parts. I think in there he got like a belt off there that was brand new. Oh, those brake calipers. But he can buy a transmission sometimes and get it for like $200 or $175, and he'll turn around and flip it for $400 or $500. Same thing with an engine. Pay 200 or 250 for an engine, sometimes less, and he'll get like 500, 600, 700 for it. So, but it's work. It's work, and he's invested money in the tools. It's his time as well as his knowledge. I could go through a junkyard and say, "Oh, look at this vehicle. Engine's still in here, transmission," and he would say the thing's not worth more than $50 for what I'd have to pay for it. And then other stuff he knows is money, but that's just him years of doing mechanics, auto mechanics on the side. And I enjoy it. I like cars. I like automotive. I'm not as knowledgeable as he is by any stretch, but I think the second video I did a junkyard walk showing some of those old cars, that you just don't see no more. But yeah, I have fun with it. Yeah. Great reception. Okay. Is a real quick question, is my visual coming in fine tonight? I think it was last month I had a couple broadcasts. I don't know if it was my internet connection or what, but I was getting really wavy stuff and the picture was real bad. But the last couple have been coming in fine. I'm using my Logitech webcam. And then for my mic, I got the blue snowball microphone right here. Let me bring this around. Okay, thanks. Let me turn this around. This is the microphone I use. I got this last January at it's hard to see this because it's black on black, says blue. I got this at Best Buy, and I think it was like $65. You probably could find it maybe a little cheaper on Amazon, but for just broadcasting, this blue snowball is perfect. Does the job. Thanks. Yep. Yeah. That's what I'm going to mention before I leave. I know some of you might hear. If you anybody has a question for me, wants to contact me, to tell me something, or you got a suggestion for a topic or something you'd like me to talk about in a future broadcast, you can contact me in private at infospot411@yahoo.com. That's my email address. Infospot411@yahoo.com. No spaces or gaps. As well as if you go on my YouTube channel and you click the About tab, and you'll see right in there I have my email address. So if you want to contact me in private, for whatever rhyme or reason, go on ahead. Whether it might be you go, hey, I just want to tell you in private, I'd love for you to talk about such and such in a future live broadcast or something. Like I had one gentleman I'm friends with and does drone videos, and he brought up a suggestion, me buying like this drone off Amazon that's fairly cheap and do like a product review on it. But my thing is that'd be something I'd probably, if I were to spend the money on that, I'd use it once or twice just to, does the thing work? Does it do a good job? But I probably wouldn't do much with it afterwards. And I'd hate to drop $60, $80. And two, I never used a drone before. So, I mean, it was a great suggestion, but it's just not my thing for a few different reasons. But if anybody has a suggestion, feel free to email me. Oh, okay. Thanks. And I haven't seen you, by the way, Shane's Kitchen, do a live broadcast, but I'm going to try to catch you. Yeah, you put something in your community post or let me know, definitely. I caught you. It was a few weeks back. I know you did one of your broadcasts. I enjoy your videos as well. I think that about wraps it up here for tonight for the late night show. And wow, 5 people here. Thank you so much. If you're just joining me now, or you're watching, you're just catching this, Uh, I started out on the serious topic of the active shooters and shootings, and went on to some fun. So much, everybody. And then two, as well, as I always make sure people that come and support me to support them back. And yeah, I only have so much time in a day, but believe me, people that come on my live, watch my videos, I always return the favor, and I'll come on your channel and hit you up and watch your stuff as well. So I do appreciate that. You know, without you guys, I have no YouTube channel in essence. You know, gonna run a channel, but no one's watching you. What's the point? So with that, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. And I'm going to say this as I say in a number of my videos because I mean it. Stay safe and enjoy life, everybody. And thank you so much for being part of the late night show tonight. Let me put a comment in here before I wrap up. Oosh, okay. Donut Toys and Games. Have a thank you before, yeah, as I'm wrapping it up. Hey, thanks for being here. I'll have you in the tribute video, so it'll be out tomorrow. It's what I also meant to say too. The tribute video, that I will get that out probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So again, stay safe, enjoy life, everybody.